Hi, I'm Jinx,
And I'm Delco.
and welcome to Anyland. We've been here in the sewers of Ravenswich, breathing in this nasty purple eldritch god blood for a bit, and this is the second part of the Ravenswich Director's Designer's Commentary video. So, I'm going to switch it back to my point of view, and we will continue where we left off. The River of Slime.
I'll let you lead since I have the particle effect.
Oh, yeah, of course. Here we go. So we're crossing this bridge. We left off, we got through Ravenswich, everything's pretty normal, and now we've got River of Slime. It's venting off vapors of nastiness that we're breathing in right now because we're here. And yeah, this is kind of the revelation point for Ravenswich, the turning point as well. If you remember in some of the houses in the before now and some houses that we'll see later on, there are glass jars of glowing purple liquid in some people's homes, and indeed this is that exact same purple liquid, whatever it may be. We'll see how that kind of interacts with other things as we go. Delco's awesome sewer here.
Yep.
And
I think I found the only particle effect that lets you use this level of density without tanking your frame rate.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, my frame rate's perfectly fine right now. Whereas some other particle effects definitely would, when you scale it up this big. Yeah, so let's continue on. We're going to that door over there. And actually, I'm going to a bit anachronistically use a flashlight this time instead of a lantern so that I can spotlight some stuff as we go and point out, because I know how extremely dark this world is. And in video, you know, when people are watching on their little cell phones on YouTube, they can't see anything. So, yeah. So, nice little crossing point here. Coughing sound effect as we go. You hear it there. I hear it a couple more times. Just to really sell the fact that you yourself are the one who's coughing, because it's surround sound but personal, so you hear it equally in your head. And sometimes magic just pops off in these weird areas.
I don't know what that was.
So, door's slightly ajar, and we get through, and it's really, sound of myself, really dense purple fog in here. And I'll use the flashlight, but, you know. Yep, more coughing. And, some sort of loud machinery. Maybe this is pumping it through the city, I guess. Maybe. Who knows, you know. But we come up to surface access, and we've got stairs leading up to a pipe. And I hit it automatically. Let me grab this again. Yep, come up through the manhole cover. As we can see right here, Ravenswich manhole cover. We've seen a couple on the streets before. Ooh, I can highlight you with the flashlight now. So you can't blend into the darkness anymore. Yeah, so we just breathed in all that nastiness and went through. And who knows how long it's been. I mean, we started this, what was it? It was midnight, right? Halloween night, midnight. And then as we went through, the clocks, were progressing as we were going through, but now, if you look, it's 3:33 in the morning. How long were we in the sewers breathing those vapors? Literally lost track of time. So where are we? We're in another part of Ravenswich. Kind of highlight some stuff. I know how dark it is. More stuff. We have a nice street. And we have a really nice bridge, and the moon is full tonight, as we saw earlier. Yeah, it's a gorgeous bridge, and the alley. And I remember very specifically when we were designing this alley and I was prototyping it, we wanted to do more verticality, which is interesting when you have a very basic city. So we added a bridge, which you're going to cross in a little bit. But we also wanted to make things linear so people didn't get too confused at certain spots. So nice bridge, you know, same streets with all the same add-on doors and bay windows and stuff. Alcoves with the Ravenswich banner. Up there, you see the library. We'll be able to go up there. It's kind of neat to be able to see where you will go later, because at first it just looks like we're fleshing out an area for detail, but then when you actually get to go there, it's like, oh, this is actually really a city, really a town. Yeah, so I guess we'll move on. We've got, buildings to see. I want to just point out real quick what we did here, because I wanted to do a lot more of this, but we never did. We just didn't have the space for it. A building with a little lawn and a gate, and then, a porch. And it's just there, and it looks it looks really good. I really enjoyed it.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. This angel statue, yep. Just remember, it's an angel statue. Praying angel with wings, etc., etc. Very classic. Good shadowing from the light here, which is a placed light to get the shadows. And before we go into this house, which is obviously where we need to go, I just want to point out this double archway kind of thing, which we do later on. But you can hear coughing coming from this door. Make me a liar. There we go. Somebody's sick in there, just like we've seen with other doors in Ravenswich. So people are getting sick. So let's go into the house.
Yes.
There we go. We enter. And you're like, what's that? Okay. So we've come in. And oh no! What is that? Quick, we gotta leave. This is cursed. Oh no, the door's not working. We've been trapped by some sort of magical locking ritual. Huh. I guess we have to keep exploring. So this is just a nice room with different colored lights that all came on when you first walked in. We kind of had this idea that it was some sort of like meeting kind of house. It's not really a house because there's no bedroom.
End of the street.
Yeah, at the end of the street. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's a citizens come and hang out and read together, and I'm starting to see a lot of weird ritual things actually. Yeah, what's that? Oh, the night rituals. Yes, by Philip Howardson. Yes, we've seen that before. And that. And oh, hey, good thing I brought the flashlight, because you wouldn't have seen this. Oh, I'm stuck in the table.
These are just from Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Right?
The Carl ruins.
I made them in this room.
Yep.
With the intention of using them throughout the map, and I just put them on this wall.
It's perfect.
Test, and I just kept them there.
It's perfect because I actually had legitimately forgotten about this. And then it just happened to be that the flashlight went across, and I was like, oh, it showed up. Perfect subtle effect. I like it. What else showed? I mean, this room doesn't have any interactables. It is just a room with cool stuff in it to look magical, whatever. So we'll go up the stairs. And in fact, retro-looking hand points us upstairs. So we come upstairs, and that door's opening by itself, and he just invited us in. Yeah, so I mean, we got more books. Yeah, maybe this is partially like a library. Okay, wait a minute. Why's the chair facing out the window that the blinds are drawn? That's just weird. I don't know either. I'm going to come in just like he asked. Of course. Of course, he slammed the door and put another ritual circle up. So we know we're trapped in here. Why, dude? Why? Not talking, are you? No? Not gonna talk? Oh, what are you drinking? That is not healthy. Ooh. Yeah, so, obviously we know what the glowing purple stuff is now. And this guy and the, magic? Israel? Alright, well... Oh, hey, there's a book. Chapter 13, Dispel. See the rune to break the ethereal barriers placed upon doors. Touch the hand to learn dispellation. Alright, so we got red ritual circle. I put my hand here. So there's a sound effect that pulses between your ears, which is cool. It's surround sound personal. The music changed as the heartbeat background music thump, 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 is gone, and now there's this deep piano with a little spooky vibrato behind it. And now that I look at the ritual circle, indeed I can see the rune to dispel with a fun pop 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 sound. He laughs, and the loud opening of the door might have covered it, but that pop 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 sound dispelling it also played again down there. So for positional audio and consistency, I want to read this note that wasn't there before, that is now, from Aaron Winchesterson. This is one of the 16 or 17 notes. It says, "He tricked me. I read from the book and I had no choice but to follow the procedure. My questions went unanswered as he was so stoic. Now I feel different. The air seems to have a chill. I am seeing things in town I didn't notice before, and magic is real." As we said, this is the turning point for Ravenswich, the story, the experience. You've now been indoctrinated and forced to learn magic after breathing in all of the eldritch godblood vapors. So now you, like the citizens, will get some insight into the eldritch world, which is, again, harking back to Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne did that brilliantly for Lovecraftian style, seeing things, knowing the unknowable. So yeah, so now we can actually exit. And oh, what the hell is that thing? Did you see it?
I did.
Okay, some weird blobby thing with a green lantern. I don't know, that was weird. Ooh. So, the angel is no longer an angel. It is now one of those eldritch acolyte guys as a statue. So now you're seeing things that weren't there before. And these people are no longer coughing. You can hear them screeching and then kind of crying. Yeah. Also, just a point of note, the blood arrow that pointed you towards the house as the next step now reverts and points that way. In case anyone was curious about where they needed to go, this wall is now gone. And that's how we kind of blocked that off, because as you're walking down the street, it's just another gray brick wall you didn't pay any attention to. Now, pink candles alert you to the fact that there's something new, and there is indeed somewhere to go. One other thing that's transitioned very, very, very clearly, the moon is now a blood moon, literally red. Probably another homage to Bloodborne there. As after you beat Rom the Vacuous Spider, everything gets weirder in Yarnum, and the moon also changes in the sky and all. So, yeah, we'll just run through here because it's not very super interesting. This was a failsafe in case one person was able to get here and then maybe their friends were lagging behind. They could just flip the switch, drop this wall, and everyone could just join. But that's no fun, because then they don't get the whole magic experience. Right? Yeah, okay, so, all this looking a little freaky, door doesn't go anywhere. More pink candles, weird alien sound, just eerie, just laying on the eeriness with the pink candles and, Yeah, so here, we're on the bridge. Check it out. You know, we can see down here. It looks pretty cool. You can see the blood moon from here. It looks neat. And, you know, turn around and see that's the alley that we came out of with the sewer. And everything's really dark, of course. Cool. Okay, so we just proceed forward. Well lit. Very nice. Until this guy shows up. You're right. It might be just a little too long.
Yeah.
So, here, you might need to trigger it.
I already did.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Yeah, so I always like to do the Banshee jump scare in all of our worlds ever since Haunted Woods Trails 1, which was just...
Yes.
Oh my god, it was so unexpected, and everyone just freaked out perfectly, like they should. To ramp it up this year, I decided to make the 3-headed one, and it sticks to you instead of just passing through.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and it screams, you know, continuously, so it's really annoying. It's only 5 seconds, but it's 5 seconds of and you can actually side dodge it. You have like a split second to do that before it actually sticks onto you, so you can let it fly by. And I've seen it sometimes when we've brought people through here where I'll do that, and then it'll stick, from my point of view, onto somebody else. And of course, it's personal, so only I see it. So it's kind of like, what's that monkey on your back? All right, so we come out here, and it's a covered bridge, very nice. And more acolytes that they actually vanish when looked at. And they'll come back in, like, I think 30 seconds or 10 or something. And they keep vanishing when looked at, so you can never actually get up close to them unless you were to, like, look down and then walk over. Just, that was kind of like to show them again instead of being secrets behind the gates only when you walk up close. It's like, oh yes, they actually are here in Ravenswich. Oh, there they are. There's one. They vanish as soon as... yeah, it's kind of just to let you know that now that you've been indoctrinated into magic and you have that Eldritch World insight kind of stuff going on, you can just plainly see them lingering around. Like, you don't need a jump scare. Yep, covered bridge from our other worlds, which we wanted to work in somehow. So we just threw it in here, why not? But here's another fun thing. What's that? What's that? What are those? What? Oh my god. And it's got a body, and this is another homage to Bloodborne with the amygdala guys, but with low poly Anyland style, because I didn't want to get crazy. From this point on, look up when you're in this world, because there are a couple of these guys on rooftops, as well as other weird things. Oh, there they are. Yep, and there they go. A couple of weird things, yeah, in Ravenswich. Great little vignette with the moon, and now the ravens everywhere are a bit bigger. Their feathers are more, I don't want to say sticky outy, but they're more ruffled. They're not so sleek, and their eyes are glowing purple now. Kind of like, were the ravens in Ravenswich always like that? You don't know because you didn't have that insight. Yeah. So this is going to go to the library. Before we go to the library, I want to show that note. It just says, the eyes are key, but what do the eyes unlock? I need more insight, more sight. Perhaps the library, I may learn more. The moon, is it real? It is not right. Why am I seeing it like this? What has happened to me? Again, Aaron Winchesterson learned magic just like we just did. And then, same thing, now he's seeing things. And there's a fun thing as I turn around. Now there's a guy there. Which is fun because I did a when looked at block for the note. So when you actually read it, you have to look at the invisible block. It goes then basically where you're standing. And then when looked at, it then tells this guy to appear and these two eye bats. And if you haven't put it together yet, everyone with their missing eyes and their blindfolds is because their eyes have been removed either forcibly or intentionally. And they spawn into these eye bats that fly around. So after learning this insight, I wanted to really, if you read the note, I wanted you to really put it together, obviously. No more hinting, no more subtlety. We'll run through the library real quick because that's just a quick effect. Yep, library. I did a fancy door. I think, was this where I started doing fancy doors? And then I started adding them every time we needed a fancy door?
I believe so.
Yeah. Because I was tired of the boring solid color ones. Okay, into the library. This might be I'm going to set the flashlight down. This might actually be a time where it's best to have the lantern. Oh, totally.
Wait here. It's kind of cramped back there.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so library is a wall, you know. The lights are out. The creeping fear. I love putting this book in places just to subtly put that in your head. So counter, nothing special. Oh, there is a light. Okay, cool. So you kind of come down here and there's nothing. And you come down here and there's nothing. That actually got me. Yeah, that's great. Each one of these has a trigger when looked at. We'll put one of those acolytes when you turn around there. And when he looks, he comes right behind you. It's awesome. And then there are more. So every time I did it correctly or intentionally, they show up like that. You get to the light, it breaks out. Book the night rituals again. And now when I look this way, this guy, who then shoots his nose tentacle directly when looked at your face, and then run shows up here. And then we get a bunch of monster sounds throughout the stacks and blinking light. And you get through here. And so it's the wall down the side. That's the whole effect. We leave the library and we find a Delco. Leave that there. Get my flashlight back. Perfect. Again, it's really cool to see down where you came from. And in case people were wondering, we did put an invisible wall. Oh, not there though. You can jump down. You can't jump back up. Like you can't raise yourself up and teleport over because we didn't want you to cheat. We want you to go through the proper experience. So, all right, moving on to one of the most impressive subtle tricks in Anyland, in my opinion, that Delco made. First, I'm going to point out very definitely Raven up there. This archway, we got the boxes, we got the alleyway over there. We've got this house in here, clearly has some stuff in it, a red door, you know, the vines. Just remember this alley and the back of that door, because this building is not very big. And we've just seen the inside. So, shall we then? Okay. All right, we're in this room. It's not very big. Again, the red door, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, let's go ahead and open the door. Let's get to that alley. Let's get into that alley. Flashlight doesn't work. Beyond here, I'm going to run through as the door closes on me. Red lighting. To the alley. And there's the alley. And there's, you know, the boxes. Ooh, nice. And there is the Raven. And there's stuff inside the house. But that was impossible.
Yeah, you're right. It was impossible.
How could that be?
To build it.
To build it, yes.
It was pretty simple at its core. The core concept, just everything one-to-one recreated as it was way above us.
Yep.
The sky is not a sky. It is a large black shape that blocks the view of the duplicate alleyway above us, which is where we came from. You enter that building, and the floor is simply an invisible platform that, when the door is interacted with, moves you down to the duplicate room, which here we can go into change things and fly up.
Oh, yeah.
To demonstrate this.
Oh, yeah. Here you are.
Yes. is actually extended a bit.
Yeah, let me grab flashlight. Oops.
Yes.
I can't.
It's hard to see much anyway.
True.
Yeah, it's all a facade.
Yeah.
Recreated pretty much just within the boundaries of, one's own sight lines.
Great.
When you're down here.
Whoop. Get back down here.
And the hardest part was making sure it didn't break for anyone trailing behind.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't even begin to tell you what I did, but it's really just more delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
If you linger long enough, it will break.
It break.
But most people just move on because,
Yeah, the fact they get through, it's...
resist.
Yeah, void hallway's kind of weird, and they're like, okay, and they got through. Yeah, I think it's brilliant because it's so seamless, and Anyland you cannot do those kind of non-Euclidean spaces. So that hallway to that door can't happen. It can't happen in Anyland. So doing a whole duplicate everything to recreate the space elsewhere, and then doing a secret teleport with that something, I think it's the floor, right? It's just...
Yeah, it's the floor.
It is the floor. The floors?
And if you manage to get through, this alleyway still continues as it was there.
Right.
Just with no effect.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case. And then you come to a door, and it's, you come to this door, but you can't get through. So here you are at this door. And again, now that we've been indoctrinated with the insight and the magic, we can see the dispel rune to get rid of this locking ritual circle thingamajig. We originally wanted to do... what was it? A script on a person so that when they actually put their hand on that spell book, they get a variable added to their person secretly, which would allow the purple thing to show up. And then we were going to do some other things with that, with backtracking maybe and stuff. And we decided that was way too complicated. And one of the things was having that appear and then stay there. You'd have to do a loop to keep it there, but only when neared when you had the variable. And then there was something like, we had to do old school persistent states.
Yeah,
and
we took a night to figure that out.
Yeah.
Everything here.
And we did it for that white door when you first learned the spell. And I was getting so frustrated trying to get that to work until you made it happen, basically.
The old school persistence was necessary.
Yeah, it was, because the door had to be...
what the exact issue was.
Just me hating and never really fully comprehending old school persistent in a logical way. It's like you send a tell to make a loop and each loop, but then you send a different tell to interrupt it and make it jump to another state.
I look at it more like a gate opening. This tell is spamming a tell to this block here.
Right.
But it has to first get through the gate tell, which will, I'm confusing myself trying to put it into words.
That's how it is.
I always visualize it like a gate that opens the tell.
That's better than my non-visualizing it or associating it to everything. It just doesn't work. So what we ended up doing was skipping that entirely. We made that spell book a dead end. You had to go in there, and you had to, no matter what, you had to learn the dispel thing. So instead of putting a variable on each person when they do it, we just did a couple of personal effects and then designed the rest of the map, the rest of the Ravenswich, to incorporate the fact that you had to have learned that spell. So here it is, and even if you were to, for example, teleport here, like we do with our magic scroll to get to different spots of Ravenswich, this will always be here. And you'll always be able to do this and make it go away. Whether you touch that spellbook or not. And then there's at least one other time later in this map under the church where you have to use it again. It just shows up. So instead of having to do all this, like, detect if you have the variable or not, simplify. Yeah, do you want to go first? See where it leads us? Or you? Okay, it led me to, yeah, okay, a hallway. Delco's not here. Oh, beaded curtain, nice. Oh, Delco, hello. Hello to you, too. There's also, while we're in here, one other place. The holding cell, I guess. What happened there was basically when you touch the teleport door, which, you know, we've already had plenty of teleport doors. There is on a teleport door, when you hit the script, it tells you to go to a named thing in the world, which we always have invisible at the base of, you know, the arrival point of the doors. In this case, that named thing is on a something controller that is untweened, moving between 3 locations. The end of this hallway, the end of that hallway, and then right there. And just to show it, I'm gonna go invisible. Not invisible, see invisible. There. Yep, there it is. It's moving between those 3 points every like 0.1 second. So it effectively makes it random where you end up when you teleport, because it's moving so fast you could never actually predict it. So just to show that off, because we use it later again. All 3 of the doors will return you to this alley, but now when I go into this alley, perfect. I ended up in the other door, the one Delco just came. So you can see monster door, and then come through here. Very good, very good. Oh, Delco's doing some shopping, I see. Yeah, this is the alchemist shop, and here's the alchemist himself. Yeah, so we had to fill it with, you know, lots of cool stuff that we made. Ooh, I wouldn't eat that. I would not eat that. Oh, a potion of potion drinking?
Delicious.
Yeah, I guess you have to drink it to be able to drink it. Okay, whatever. Spider eggs, vine, you know, etc., etc. What else is cool? You know, miscellaneous. Another one of these boxes. Another one of these jars. Another one of these things. Your hourglass that actually works.
Yep.
It's very cool.
Knick-knack.
Yeah. Oh, is it only triggered when...
It might be personal. For performance reasons.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes. It's draining. Anyway. Oh, it is draining. I just didn't notice it was going
Yeah, I believe it's
realistically slow.
30 seconds.
Right. It is. I'm not sure if I explained this before. Oh, you can't get back here. Nah, I'll wait for Castle Ravenswich for the head-turning explanation. The scripting to make sure that their heads can't, like, twist around behind them and all, you know, Exorcist-like. Okay, yeah, so invisible ink manifest. So, all the things they need to...
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude, just very simply, yeah, you. Very simply just, you know, when face nearest and his head's on a something. Notice the tattoo on his cheek that might come up in the future, the far future, like 200 years in the future. Perhaps. Also, he has spectacles. I hadn't done glasses on anybody yet, so I thought that was neat. He also reminds me of my cousin Joe, so. Stained glass, very cool. We're going to see much more of that in the next sections because I really liked it and it looks good. Another Bloodborne symbol down there. Fancy door, so I'm going to open the door. And this just gets put into motion, but only if you open the door. So like when Delco just walked through, that's probably static for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's swinging for me, which I just thought was kind of neat. Even though it's too mechanical, of course, it just looks neat, and it's kind of a little surprise. Not a jump scare per se, but enough to, whoa, you know, yeah. Yeah. Oh, coffins. Gotta have some coffins. Bloody coffins, I see. Okay. In this room, if you listen very carefully, it might not even come up on video. Thunder. There's thunder rumbling in the background randomly. And we have a little umbrella holder and an umbrella. Why would we need an umbrella? Let's go outside and find out. It's because it's raining! We made a whole section outdoors that's raining, and we took very, very detailed consideration to make sure under awnings and overhangs, whatever, it doesn't rain in there. Because these are all particle effect clouds, invisible clouds, producing the rain. You know what? I'm not sure it's even showing up on video, actually.
It might not.
It might not. It looks great in person. That's interesting. Oh yeah, I can see it on the video just a little. It's because obviously the particle effects are very, very small relative to everything else, and yeah, rendering resolutions. Oh yeah, there's ravens with the glowing purple eyes will show up randomly again. The whole look up idea. This is some of your beautiful clutter.
I love clutter.
You
I
do?
put a bunch of it down here.
Yeah.
Made some pots and pans.
There's all sorts of stuff. Miscellaneous over here. Trying to think, what's the best way to get through here and show everything? Because this is another hub area.
I'd say this way
This way?
has the most.
Yeah, you're right.
Because, yeah, we could just loop back.
Yeah, so we'll go that way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to just show the butcher, but I just want to show spiral stairs going that way. We'll come back and around and stuff. Because this does make like a giant... It's a loop with a thing in the middle, so... Yeah, well, let's go this way. Like you said. Oh, another Aaron Winchesterson note. Okay. I'm going to keep the flashlight going because it's hard to see with the lantern. But here we have another one of these gates open so we can get through. Mick Loki's pub. And it's named that because the doors are a trick. There's a door here, and then there's a door on the other side of this wall. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. But when you try to leave the place, you don't end up back right here like you expect. You end up in different parts of this whole hub area. So we'll show that a little later because I don't want to disorient the camera view. Yeah, so you can tell it's an L-shaped building. The tentacles on top of the lamppost, they only show up when neared, and then they create this continuous like eerie ring sound. It's very quiet. So we'll go here. A door. It's all boarded up from the outside. This is weird. If you look up and flashlight won't even reach, and you might not be able to see it on camera. Maybe there with the cloud behind it. There's another one of those giant monster guys. Yeah, so we have more fence grating. The titular haunted woods back there supposedly. The other entrance to McLoki's pub, and just to show there's nothing back here. There's a cool architectural bit there. Nothing here to see. More stairs blocked off. But that door, that's an interesting looking door. Oh! You approach the door, and a lightning bolt hits the metal doorknob, and you saw it go red hot, and now it's fading down to orange. If you touch it, there's a steam sound like you burnt your hand. Great jump scare because a loud crash of thunder, and then the brightness of the lightning right in your face is a huge jump scare. Classic.
Enabled only by the rain.
Yep.
Couldn't have done it otherwise.
This beautiful rain that's all over this place. Let's see. What else? Should we go up this way, or do we come down that way for the better fence effect?
I think going that way is good.
Okay. That was. I'm starting to see things. Thought I saw something in the corner that can't be. Yeah. So we also tried to do some fun angles and stuff to just kind of break up the orthogonal everything. So this is, a nice little curve, whatever. So yeah, we'll go up these stairs, right up to this gate. I love it. I love it. It's kind of the same jump scare with the fence coming straight up on you without the loud bang sound. But then it just completely comes out of its hinges at the bottom, or whatever it might be. It's just there. This door is one of the McLokey exits. There's nothing else there. Yes, and the time is now a few minutes before 4 a.m. So it's still tracking kind of like real time as you've been walking through. Minus that whole 3-hour lapse, of course. Another note from Aaron Winchesterson. He's, can't believe what he's seeing is real. I want to go in here because I really like a couple effects, specifically in this house. This house is super dark. So the creeping fear again, I posted it there. Thing. This, another one of those eyes. Radiator, whatever. Yep, when you get close, it becomes a real eye that actually looks at you. It happens a couple times.
More of those, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's this one, there's one in...
We went over one.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's another one or two that I didn't focus on. Keep it as a surprise. I guess the flashlight's better in here. Yep, it's just... that's... Yeah, I knew I wanted to point out some stuff. Despite the fact that the clocks in the town are keeping time correctly, this clock now is a 13 instead of a 12 at its north point. And now it's just a few minutes after the 13th hour, whatever that means. So clearly you're still seeing things that aren't right at all. Yep, just a mini placeholder kitchen, nothing fancy. Whenever we do rooms and stuff that you're not meant to linger in, we don't spend a lot of time detailing it too much. So what I really point out, and I point out to everyone we've toured through here, look at that round table. That is a nice little round table with 4 chairs and a candle. What a nice little round table, Just perfect. It fits in the room just perfectly. Space, yeah. Remember the round table, okay? So... this is not important. That's not important. I think I need the flashlight to see her. And as you get close, she vanishes. And it's another one of those creepy The Ring style. I think it's The Ring style weird girls. Who... oh my god, what's that on the ceiling? What is that on the ceiling? He's got multiple eyes. And hideous clothes. Jesus. Okay. And now you really need to be looking up because there's another one. And yeah, they are set to face view, so they keep looking at you. Another 13 clock. Night rituals, another desk, just another home space. Oh, that looks good. You spotlit like that. All right. Gotta show off a little. This room, I'm very, very happy with. It's like a little bedroom, pink. Maybe Emily lives here. I don't know. What? What? It's a mirror. There's a girl on the other side. Her eyes are bleeding, and she's got a blindfold, so clearly her eyes are gone. Oh, and we have another one of these ritual things. That make that hideous, horrible sound when you pick them up. Wonder what those will be used for. Yeah, so I like doing the mirror effect in Anyland We just do it the classic video game style. The room on the other end, on the other side of the mirror, is just a duplicate reversed room of this room. And the mirror isn't a mirror at all. There are no mirrors in Anyland. It's glass. That's it. It's easy. And then it's weird because, when you can put the exact same item, like these candles, in the exact same spot on, quote, both sides of the mirror, it really helps sell that look that it is a mirror. Like, you actually have something you could focus on that tells your brain, yeah, that's a mirror, because those are, there, the way they are. Another thing is the doors, when opened, both open. So it's really cool effect because it really helps your brain also check that it's a mirror. So you can get close and actually look in, and you're like, wow, that's really mirrory. And if you touch the glass, though, the monster comes through, and again, the door's open. The girl screams and vanishes. She kicks her head back, which is great. And then that eldritch acolyte guy comes through real fast just to scream at you. Kind of like he knows that you can see what's not there kind of thing. And he's kind of like, get back. That kind of thing. So I really, really like doing the mirror effects like that. And then doing an actual jump scare. I think everyone we've taken through here touches the glass, which is perfect because that's the trigger for the effect. So it's kind of like a natural curiosity, I think, to want to tap the glass. And then it's fun sometimes when we've toured in here, you've gone ahead and clipped through, and you're in there. There. Which is always fun. It's like, wait, Del goes inside. So, yeah, that's always fun. So, again, the door. You can watch the door open in there. Yeah, so that's all the fun things in this room, and these guys are just there to be super creepy. When we go downstairs, again, no jump scares. But, oh, hey, look at that round table. Not a round table at all.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. And, wow, she did something with that dagger. Does not look well at all. And that's not the same girl from the mirror either, because different color hair, different dress and all. So what's interesting about this is the real table is on beyond that wall, the other table, and this table was there the whole time. Don't eat the light sources. It's not healthy. I don't care if you're a specter. It's not healthy, even for you.
Okay.
Also, why does the light source give off a shadow? I can see it for the flashlight, but yeah, you're not supposed to deconstruct everything. Anyway, just what I wanted to point out is that chair and the chair she's sitting in and the candle never move. They're the original orientation and stuff. The chairs where you and I are standing now, relative to the round table, and the round table moved to the other side of the wall, and these two chairs moved with the table and all. All of it's on one sub thing, and it does the same thing as the monster ticket booth, where they're there and the sub thing just rotates 180 degrees. In this case, it's like that, untweened, and just moves everything and then just locks itself in position. So that's how you can make things move and switch without extra scripting and actually scripting all of it. You just slap them all into the same sub thing in reverse orientation and then move the sub thing. So that's this house. It's kind of neat. I liked little things. I really wanted to just stuff this house with weirdness. So I'd say mission accomplished on that. Alright, what else do we have in here? Another one of those big guys. Creepy. We've got this, which we'll end up at, because that ends this hub area. Just like having a tunnel. Again, no rain on the other side of the tunnel. I don't think there's no jump scare or anything here.
Nothing down there.
Yeah, that's just an alley to get back to McLokey's pub. And some graves in the dirt. Yep, we got some clutter boxes, Stelco's favorite. But if you get close, there's a surprise. More of these creepy tentacles. Yep, so there's that. Before we go into Mr. Frivolities, I want to just show this gate. Oh, wait. The law offices of Dr. Tar and Professor Feather?
Mm-hmm.
This is the other exit to McLokey's pub. Yeah, I just want to show this. You can see it, and then you can hear it. Gosh, I hope this shows up really well. Maybe I can with the flashlight. Oh, yeah, with the flashlight. So you keep seeing these robed figures sliding out, gliding out, whatever, on and on and on and on. And you can hear some like bells and some ritualistic chanting coming from the inside of the other side of that door. All this is doing to get this effect is when you are neared this gate, it triggers those robed guys to be emitted from where you can't see on the backside of that door. And then somewhere over there, I think, is a liquid wall that will just, they hit it and they splash out. They die. But it's supposed to make it look like, ooh, there's a pause. It's supposed to make it look like a bunch of the townspeople were just gathering in this building, the red lighting, and now they're leaving to go to the woods, the titular haunted woods. I just thought it was a cool effect when I came up with that. Yeah, so another bridge, but you can't get to this one. But again, we wanted to just add some more appearance of height, because you can see there's a door up there, but you can't actually get there. McLokey's pub and then Frivolities, or should we do Frivolities while we're here?
McLokey's pub.
Okay.
Because
it's fun.
it's quicker.
Oh, true. Good point. It's just a pub. Yeah, okay, so I just want to backtrack the way we came through. We got the butcher thing. We've already seen the cool clutter under the thing. Yeah. McLokey's pub. Should we go on this side or the other side?
Either works.
Alright, well, let's go on the other side then.
Yeah.
I think. Ooh, spooky music. Alright, into. Yes, McLokey's pub. It's a nice L-shaped, pub, bar for the townspeople. And, it's a dice game. It's kind of cool. Looks really good. And, that. Purple lighting is very cool. We got bar. It's a bar, obviously. We have The Adventurer's Guide to Finding Lost Books by me. If I recall correctly, you can find that in the underground, I think. Somewhere as well. Hidden? Oh, yeah. It is. That's right, yeah. And this poor guy, he's had a bit to drink and clearly not very happy tonight, banging his head. Maybe he lost his lover or something. I don't know. Oh, no. It's worse than we thought. He's smashing his face so hard he's bleeding all over the bar. That can't be good. And I can hear him grumbling. Hang your coat, What else we got? Oh, we also spend a lot... Hey! We focus a lot of attention to detail on making windows line up where they are on the outside. That really sells the sense of presence and all, because, every door into a building is basically a teleport door. So if the windows line up as soon as you go through, you're like, oh, yeah, okay. Helps your brain believe that you're still in the place that you're supposed to be. Here's the bartender. Looking kind of grim. He rolls his eyes when you neared, because this guy, he's like, oh, this guy's so drunk. Fun stuff. Yeah, and you can go back here, so if you wanted to hang out and play bartender, you could. Yeah, I'm stuck on a wall. Yeah, let's go out here. And yeah, instead of being where we were, they put us back out here on the other side of this whole hub area. So it's a fun little trick. Help disorient you, whatnot. That being said, let's keep moving on to, not this door, of course, it's barred. This door is Mr. Frivolities. I came up with that name many years ago when we were brainstorming Haunted Woods areas, and I was like, I gotta use this for something. So, weird name for a weird place. Another note from Aaron Winchesterson. It basically says that Mr. Frivolity was weird, and he had 3 weird rooms to show Aaron, and we're going to see those rooms. I want to point out, and this is really dark, really dark. The ceiling has slats open up in it, and you can see here the light pouring out. Oh, that was good. And the slats down here might not show up on the video, but basically you hear wood creaking up above us, and it's supposed to be somebody wandering around, and that's what the light shadow is, because they're blocking the light from up there. Yeah. Realistically, I had that idea a while ago, and I wanted to do something with it, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and so we put it in here, and it worked out really well. And there's not actually a person up there, it's just like a big cube. And if you try to go up these stairs, you'll find that there's furniture in the way, and no matter what, you can't get around this corner. So you'll never see what's over there, which is fine because you're not supposed to.
Yes.
Want to show off your aquarium?
I made an aquarium. Put a fish.
Yeah, fish.
In there.
A big fish. It's a floating head. What's super cool about that, though, I mean, aside from the dead fish, you made it bob realistically, like a balloon, let's say. Like a balloon would bob against the ceiling. So it looks really cool that way. Woo! Apparently I've been drinking, so I haven't. But squatting down, trying to get back up. This door, of course, teleport door, as you'll see. There are 3 separate rooms, 3 cool-looking rooms that we did as vignettes. And it, just like getting into the alchemist shop from the back alley, it's an invisible teleport on a sub thing that's jumping between the 3 rooms. Boop, 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 boop. It's super fast, so you never know which room you're going to get into. So I'm going to, 4 places, because it also puts you back out in the alley, too. Yeah. So hopefully, and we'll just run back in if we don't, but I want to show off all 3 rooms. So here we go. Oh, okay, so I'm in the waist-high blood room. Hey, and you got in the same room, too. Okay, cool. So this is, again, one of those effects where we do a floor that you can't interact with that's fake, and then a real floor below us. So it feels like I'm almost waist deep in blood right now. And then we have the bodies and the intestines and the handprints on the wall. People tried to get out before they, and then the battle axe and other cages, like the gruesome room. Even blood on the doors. But don't pay attention to the fact that you couldn't open the door without all that pouring out. Just, don't pay attention. So I know something happens when I go for the door. Oh, there it is. The hand comes up with the loud drill sound. And I go in. Oh, I cycled back. I don't know if you went.
I went to the orb room.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like that room. Oh, I'm in the Half-Life Alex room.
Yes. Half-Life Alex room.
See,
I want to see that one.
Yeah, come on. I'll wait for you. Basically, yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's every time you take a step, you cough. It's an oppressive room, and I'll show.
Who made the sound effects in this room?
I'm pretty sure you did, because you're the sound master, and I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
It's perfectly oppressive, just like we wanted. It looks like there's mold on the green walls. Oh, the walls pulse. Very subtle effect.
Yeah, this is freaky.
Yeah. Particle effects. You know you're breathing in bad stuff. Fungusy kind of. You got the tentacles and the tendrils and the alien stuff and dripping and the crazy sound effect, and I don't want to be here anymore. It's also a preview for what you'll see later. Damn, I got bopped back. Oh, here we go. I'm in the mystic room. Cool. This is a really neat room because everything's really weird. Things are jumping around in here, but they're not, when looked at, jumping around. They just do it. Fortune-telling ball, weird sound effect, the warping, the particle effect that's spinning around, like, clearly... Oh, yeah. Some of the stuff does trigger when you look at it. Maybe. The bookcase jumping, like the chair going upside down, all the weirdness, the light changing. Aside from just being weird and interdimensional kind of vibe, this is the room I believe we invented this ghosting effect, where if you... It was, right? So if you have a thing like this chair, and I really hope it shows up on video because it's perfectly translucent to me. And it's kind of frame rate driven as well. So if you have bad frame rate, it looks like it flickers more and more and more. But my frame rate's really good right now, so it's just perfectly translucent. Anyway, if you take a thing like this chair, and then you put it on a sub thing, and you absolutely have to make this uncollidable, because if somebody gets collision in here with their head, crashes them, so don't do that. You basically have that sub thing switch from in position to move the thing under the ground or out of sight otherwise. When starts then become next in 0 seconds. Oh, untweened, excuse me. When starts then become untweened next in 0 seconds, and then state 2 is elsewhere. And then it just loops with that at super duper speed. And it becomes translucent. And as it becomes translucent, again, frame rate dependent, why is this really cool? Because normally if you use the actual translucent or transparent materials when you're building something, when you put two shapes together, you see their edges and they clip through each other. So like they're translucent to each other. This effect, you can't, for example, see that this ball... It gets solid if I put the flashlight on. That's fun. Ooh, that's a fun effect. You can't see the other half of the sphere into this arm, the rectangle. And you can't see the end of the rectangle inside of the sphere like you could if you used actual translucent materials. So you can create holograms and ghosts without them being all, I don't know, without seeing the polygons of themselves inside themselves. So it's a super cool effect. We came up with that and then we started using it a lot because it is really cool. And in fact, later I'll explain and we'll show it, but we use it to show another dimension. Oh, perfect! I got outside. I don't know where you got to. Oh, pff, you're right here. Cool. Yeah, so randomly when you hit those doors, you can end up anywhere, including outside. And so, yeah. So I want to show off all three of those. We're good, I think, in this section now.
Yeah, that's everything.
That's everything, right? Everything cool, anyway. Yeah, so we'll move up here. Again, this tunnel, that guy looking down on us. No rain in here, because, of course, it's covered. This, nothing. I think I wanted to do something, but I was getting tired of doing houses and trying to figure out what to stuff them in, which is why I stuffed so much in that other house over there. That I just eschewed that. I was like, no, whatever, just lock the door. All right, cool. So we come to this next spot, Museum of Ravenswich History. We got the trees. We got these, railroading you straight up to here, and the museum. Before we go there, I just want to show, this is like a graveyard with a neat, like, almost, I don't know how, sectioned off, I guess. So, candle dripping, got another, of course, angel, some more of Delco's names that he put together. It's kind of a neat, different style way to do a graveyard. Instead of, again, we were trying to get more verticality instead of just doing everything so boring and flat and straight and orthogonal, which is like what my brain defaults to, probably from, I don't know, Wolfenstein 3D and Doom editing all the time. Yeah, which, yeah, because, you know, we could only do so much back then. Oh, actually, I want to show, I'll turn around. Spiral stairs. You really can't see far, and that's intentional. There's a tree there, you know, grass, and it just goes on for actually a while, because there's another big tree way back there. And then, you know, beyond here, there's just buildings. It does just go off into the void. Like, there's no reason to... You can't get there. We want to make you feel like it's a big, expansive spot of space. Also a bunch of trees and stuff, because beyond the museum is the actual haunted woods. Yeah, so I'm going to get through here, and we're going to go into the museum. I should say Delco's museum, because it's all him. So we got this stained glass and all the cool stuff. Museum of Ravenswich history. Another sign that says finished exploring. You can actually backtrack out of this door, but I wanted to make sure that you saw everything in that hub of alleys and stuff before coming in here. Some beautiful music. Glass cases, big ones, small ones. We got railing up here. Some doors. You know, more doors up there. Goodies. There's Delco. Doors that probably go to stairs to get up there. Oh, just one door. Okay. Yeah. So do you want to explain design and stuff in here?
Yes. The design of the museum itself, I don't have much to add there.
Yeah.
The most interesting elements are the props, and I'd say about 90% of them are just Elder Scrolls.
It's just fun.
Stone of Baron Zaya.
Right.
From Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
One of them.
One of them. Oh, we found one.
The miniature Oblivion Gates.
Oh, yeah.
Oblivion.
Right. Which is also an Easter egg in Haunted Woods Trails 3 in your mausoleum.
Yes.
Smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth House Totem.
The Sixth House Totem from Elder Scrolls Online.
Right.
I think I made this one up. This is my thing.
I think I was talking about Dwemer spheres or something, and then you made this really cool thing.
Yeah. Soul gems.
Well, they're also from Crystal Lake in the underground.
Soul gems.
That too. Oh yeah, monkey's paw with 2 fingers down.
Uh-oh.
Yep. And then...
some Ravenswich... No. Not quite Ravenswich currency.
Yeah, maybe.
Something going on there.
Something weird.
Could be in the museum otherwise.
Yeah. Oh, the Dogma Amphibium.
Dogma Infineon.
A cursed book. This is beautiful. And that music.
Felt so fitting.
Yeah.
That music is one of the piano, like, super upbeat piano tunes from the Anyland library slowed down by like 110%.
Oh, yeah. And it's good because it's a very, at this speed and whatever, it's very, like, mysterious and a totally different vibe from everything else we've seen so far. Ha! That's okay. It also basically almost drowns out the sound track in this world right now, because like I can still hear, you know, the low piano boom, but it kind of you're hearing this. It's more melodic, so my brain is latching on to this and not background music.
Yes.
What else? Oh, right. Some other stuff I threw in. Ravenswich artifacts that we've seen. Dagger, the small scale. Black flame candle from Stardust. Which we actually, total side note, we have one in our inventories now.
Yes.
I'm not going to trigger it, obviously. But if we hit trigger, it instantly teleports us in a flash of light to the starting spot of our own worlds. So the fastest way to travel is by candlelight. And then, yes, that is the Tome of Eternal Darkness with all the little skulls and stuff. So, yeah, bad mojo going on there. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love your sconces in here.
Oh yes, the sconces.
Like, they're really cool.
This place.
I don't know, they're simple geometric style, but I don't know, they fit really well.
Yeah, I just wanted to make something new, and I like the orb look.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is supposed to be like 1899-ish, circa. But we wanted to start in the later sections of Ravenswich, like where we are just now, and the library and stuff, that they do have electricity, but only for like the nicer section of Ravenswich. Of course, a museum, is a nicer section. So, yeah, and it's super simple, but it's really nice. I don't know. All right, so another map that I drew, just scaled up. And then we have a door, opens inward, which makes you step back. Sometimes I like doing that too. And then you get to here. Oop, almost. A bunch of statues, many with weapons raised. And there's the door. And there's nowhere else to go. And everyone walks through here with trepidation because they're expecting a jump scare. Like, especially when you get to this huge battle axe and it's just at, just above eye level, and you kind of have to duck to get there. And he's got a smirk on his face. You expect it to drop, and it doesn't. But what does happen, just secretly, this guy turns and looks at you, and you don't even notice. And only when you get to the door, so that's cool. It's another one of those times where I like to mess with people when they pretty much are expecting something, and then don't actually do anything at all. Another lovely fountain. I've seen this fountain before. And then, yeah, we're in the backyard. Here, twisting. You see the back of the museum and the spaces, and you can't see it. Again, it's not going to come out on video, but there is a building back there, distant, which lines up with the other buildings. And you start hearing crickets, and there's another note. Oh, yeah, I'm going to read it. Haunted, the woods have a trail to the church. Notice how it says Haunted Woods Trails, the first line. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, intentionally. This eve of the full moon, it's still frightfully dark. A lantern is a necessity, shining light like a bright illumination of knowledge. But from what I have seen thus far... ... Refresh your lantern because... And yeah, it is that dark in the woods. It's a quick jaunt. Literally, you could just go straight and meander through the trees that might be in your way to get to where you need to go. There's only one extra thing in the woods to see if you want to. And I can see it from here. It's the blue candles. It's really that dark, so I'm going to grab a lantern myself. And it won't help. It's going to be that dark on camera.
Definitely one of the darkest things we've made.
This absolutely is the darkest. Yes, for sure. The fact that we have clouds gives you a tiny bit of sense of place. Because, these trees go up pretty high. And you can see them sometimes against the white clouds. But then I did these pine trees, which are, just three crinkled cones on a crinkly black trunk. And they do block line of sight. And I'm sure this is pitch black on the camera. We put the glowing jack-o'-lanterns, the lit ones, to help guide you in the direction that you need to go. Wow, I'm already disoriented. I want to show that one. I'm actually, there we go, disoriented in my own. Yeah, so you come here. This is brickstone, bricks out here. There's a candle on each one of the corners, some skeletons, some blood, etc., etc. And when you step up, you get that jump scare with the lingering kind of woo sound. That's the only extra thing in the woods. You really do just want to get through it. So there. Oh, I love the way the shadowing happens. Just pointing that out. These are placed lights, so you get all the shadows. If you go to the edges of the woods, there's a fence that runs across it, so you kind of let yourself know. Don't go far. And as we get through, you see the jack-o'-lantern. You might think it's another one, but no. With the hoo-ha-ha-ha sound. It's some sort of monster. But he's static. And then you get close, and he vanishes. So I'll get back to the flashlight. Gate. With an open gate. Actually, it's missing its gate. The only place to go, we are at the cathedral. The small, more like chapel, I guess. You can see details. Again, it's super dark. It's much more visible when you're in person because your eyes get adjusted to the darkness. 2 doors. They both go inside, so you don't have to worry about which one you go to. Later, you will see 2 doors exactly positioned like this that are red, and it will matter which one you go through, but not to the chapel. What you can't see, unless your eyes adjust, and usually from further back, there's actually a big monster on top of this, with moving tentacles. Again, I'm pointing at it, but you probably can't see it even with the light clouds behind it. Maybe right there. Can't tell. It is tricky, but it's another one of those extremely subtle effects that we did. Ooh, I can see the red moon behind us shining. That's cool. Anyway, there's no reason to go back into the darkness of the woods. We need to go into the chapel. So I'm going to just take this door. And here we are. Here is, in the chapel, the final location, I guess. The final physical location on Ravenswich Isle. The chapel. And as you can see by these guys, yep, this is no ordinary chapel. This is not a Christian chapel at all. And that monster up on the ceiling has broken through and is holding candles and is wiggling all around for the light. Yep, and here's another one of these big statues. Not an angel. Banner, everything. Like, this is really the sickly green now. Up here, we have those 2 jump scare ghosts that you've seen in Ravenswich. They're just chilling. That's a little kind of Easter egg thing because most people, first of all, won't look back and also won't look up. So here we are. This is how it is. And this guy, you can just hear him whispering. He's doing the same whispering that the one Lady Oracle, mystic fortune teller, was doing in her house. You see he's holding one of these eldritch artifacts. See, he's got the purple goo, which is kind of spilled because it looks like he applied it to his own eyes. And he's holding another one of these ritual, the ones that make you sick if you hold them. Yeah, he's not to be disturbed. He's definitely in a trance of weirdness. These 2 eyes by the altar are supposed to be his. Because, again, that's what happens when you, I don't know, pour eldritch blood, god blood on your eyes. They pop out and turn into creatures. Something like that. I don't know. We have 2 paths that are going to loop back to where they were. I also want to point out, because this is an Anyland joke, what on earth? That's something Philip himself said. Just that, when somebody had shown him something that I guess he didn't think was possible in Anyland. So that became a running... Yeah, it's been a running joke with Anylanders. What on earth? I say it all the time. So we just had to add that. I'm going to go this way. For some reason, I always go left. Maybe it's because I'm left-handed. If you want to go that way, we'll meet on the other end. Just curved wood. Kind of go into the behind the thing. And we've got more acolytes, and they're all facing this wall. When we get close, they all fade out. And more tentacles busting from the ceiling. More eyes. His eyes. See? 2 eyes. Guy with missing eyes. If people haven't gotten it by now, like, I just pretty much spelled it out a few times. But yeah, the tentacles become vines kind of looking thing. There's smoke and there's particle effects, and he was torn apart. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, it's decaying him too, because his fingers have gotten skeletal. Like his flesh melted off. Nasty. Alright, so now we move on, and here we have a door that is not shaped like a normal door. These are the doors. We've seen these before. Haunted Witch House 3. I really like these doors. Oh, it opens in. Again, makes you step back, so it gets another moment of what's down there. You don't get to... Blood arrow! I'm going to do this with the flashlight. You can see it's a stairwell. Actually, it's the exact same stairwell I picked out of Haunted Witch House 3 when you go to the elevator from the living room. Because I really did not feel like making another set of identical stairs when it just needed to be that. Yeah, so stairs, whatever. I like these arches. It just kind of adds some more architecture to this otherwise really boring rectangular room. Another one of these doors. And a refresher lantern. And an abandon all hope ye who enter sign. Because, classic. It's classic, and yeah, abandon all hope. Because, again, the deeper we go, and now we're underground again, the less hope there is. The weirder. And here we are. We jump in here. And coffins everywhere. And we have another locking ritual thing and the unlock spell, because we know how to dispel those. So this ceiling is actually... I like this effect because this ceiling is lower than the other one, just by a little. So if you notice it or not, you do feel suddenly like, oh, I feel even more enclosed. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to dispel it because we know how to do that. Ooh, coffin door slides open. It's all very secretive. Cool. So we come in here. Dark, so I'm going to keep the flashlight going. We're in the catacombs kind of area, underneath the chapel. And a bunch of coffins, very, very expected, I guess. We go through here. Oh yeah, I like this. Mm-hmm. With the little skeleton fingers coming out of the crack. But, let's see if I can... I wanted to catch that on camera. Oh well. Yeah, that black is just Vanta black, and it's flat. We didn't actually, cut out the coffin just to make the skeleton hands. They're just set in there. It's perfect. What I missed was, as you get near to this coffin, the lid creaks open and then flies off really fast. There's a nice jump scare. There's a... Yeah. You built all this. Did you want to say anything specific?
Well, the coffin holders, I pulled off some reference imagery. Apparently a lot of old catacombs did this.
Oh.
And I was a really big fan of how it fit in the coffins. I don't know. It's a cool use of space.
Definitely. And the depth of it all, of course.
Yeah, you can play with the orientation.
Yeah.
Stacked.
The sideways ones.
Sideways, crooked.
Crooked, yeah. Oh, yeah, vertical. Horizontal pushed in.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
I like making dark things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's dark in here. Well lit, though. I like those a lot, actually.
Oh, yes.
Cool. All right. Again, super dark, so keep the flashlight going. More of that. Some bump outs. We have a corpse that's wrapped up but not buried.
They ran out of coffins.
Some more coffins. Some vines. So you know that this place isn't airtight. Greenery is coming in through the cracks. More coffins. Chains, like, do they torture people down here? Do they chain them up before they kill them and wrap them over here and then put them in a coffin? Like, what's going on down here, right? Oh yeah, I guess it's efficient. I love that. You know how much I love subtle? Yeah, I love the subtle things so much. And so that muffled knock, knock, knock when you pass this, I like that stuff. Probably more than jump scares. Like, just adds so much to it. Yeah, so there's a lot of this. There aren't any actual jump scares aside from that lid popping. It's just for ambiance. You feel like you're going down because you are downstairs, down little bits of hill. You're supposed to feel like you're going underground. Some vines. Turn around here, and there's another one of those eldritch acolytes down here. So you're like, oh crap. I like this with the railings that you can put candles on. It just feels different than the stuff we've done before. This tight, narrow tunnel. Haha. Try to grab all the lights. I think I eventually fixed them.
Yeah, by this point you fixed them.
Yeah. So yep, another door. Teleport door. Ooh, I like this. I like imagery when you see sometimes in art where catacombs have the skeletons lined up like that against the walls you have to go through. And so I made some of them just hold candles, just to be extra weird. So, tunnel. It's bricked, but it's also very dirty. And you go through here. Alright, here is like big revelation room. Number 2, I guess. I don't know. I'm hoping... I don't think it's going to show up right. The pillars in this room are... Oh. Before I even say that, notice when you step in the room, the music cut out entirely.
Dead stop.
Just absolute, just no more background music. And now it feels... You feel like you've entered a void cave that something's wrong. You suddenly feel wrong. All right, back to the pillars. All 6 pillars in this room are set with that translucent ghost effect. And again, I think on camera they're just going to look solid, unfortunately.
They sort of have more of a on-off flicker.
A flicker?
Rather than
translucent. Because the way I'm seeing it is exactly that. It's a quick flicker continuously, like flick. So they get that transparent effect. So I think if I look at you and then I look back real fast, you see it for a second. They flicker in and out. No, yeah. They're supposed to be continuously there, and they are for us. Again, it's just not coming out on camera. By them flickering and being translucent, it was really supposed to sell the effect, and you'll see in a moment that they aren't really here. That you're seeing like an after image of where they are somewhere else. Oh, they're doing it now, kind of. So right here at this table, you have one of these acolyte statuettes, some chains, another one of those artifacts, the eldritch artifacts in a box. Obviously, look at all the purple eldritch godblood here. Duh, okay. Refresher lantern, you might want it, but you don't have to. I'm going to read this because this is my favorite note. Yes. I figured it out. I have the insight. I found this ritual cave where the veil between worlds is so thin I can see it. Stole this spellbook from Miss Eleanor, and I've bewitched it with a translation spell, so anyone can read the runes, even you. Yes, you, Jinx. Your name will be there. Place your hand on the page I've left the book open to. Follow me. Cross over. This is kind of like Aaron Winchesterson has gone insane. In true Lovecraftian style, he has just gone bonkers with all the weirdness and madness. I really especially like, and I had to do this, the whole even you, yes you, Jinx, and it'll be your name because it always shows the player's name there, whoever's looking at it. I loved that in the Prestige. when the one guy's on the train reading the book thinking he's getting all the information, and it says, even you, yes, you, reading this right now. Because it's a total setup. I love that so much. And I think I explained that without any actual Prestige spoilers, so that's a movie you don't want. Yeah. You do not want spoiled on you. Yeah. It's always good. So you walk up to this altar, and it's a nice little dirt mound and stuff. And the eye bats, the candelabras, the purple flames. I'm going to get rid of that. Here we are. What was that? Chapter 42, Crossover. Stand still, clear your mind. Touch the hand and call upon the eldritch world to take you. And I did this in Eternal Darkness style, where the runes get called out as you do it. So, I'm going to do it. Say me. And then you are instantly teleported. I'm going to back up the particle effect. And the book and the candelabras are now translucent and flickering. They're flickering on camera, but they flicker like super fast to the point where they're translucent. The pillars are now solid proper and not flickering at all. You could see, as I bang on it, of course, they're solid. The barrel with the lantern, which is now out, are translucent. And then this table and everything is translucent, except for the stone. And it's interesting because it keeps this weird physics property where if this was all not here anymore, the stone fell through, which is super creepy. So if you haven't guessed yet, you're about to find out. We've crossed over to another dimension. A cave that looks exactly like the cave we left, but where things that were there are now here, and the things that are there are now. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to backtrack because there's nowhere else to go. We're going to go back exactly the way we came. And we keep going around here. This wasn't here before. That's weird and purple. Oh my God! Where are we? Oh my God! This is Oblivion Gate. Easter egg. Yes. Nice. We're not on Earth anymore, guys. We are in the Eldritch world. Let me step forward for a second here. The creepy whispering. Okay. The skeleton hand in this gate. We'll just shake hands here. And a tentacle comes up to help us open the gate. I want to step away from the wind to explain a few things. There we go. So, Eldritch Godblood, the purple theme, everything should be hitting, your brain as you put everything together now. Spooky. The music again changed, which you'll hear better when we're even further from the wind. You followed Aaron Winchesterson. You crossed over. Where did you cross over to? The Eldritch world. This is where the Eldritch God came from. This is where all the worshipping is leading up to. This is, the ultimate weirdness. Please note, and you can prove it here, Haunted Woods Trails 4, Ravenswich. You did not go to another area in Anyland. This is in Anyland. I know some people thought, oh, that was a really cool teleport to another area. No, that was just a teleport, I think, down. I think the other alternate cave, is up there. We just created a huge purple dome and set it to, I think it's the Vanta color, the Vanta black, but we set it as purple. That way you can still obviously, context laser it, but with that Vanta color, it doesn't highlight like when you highlight, and click on other things. So it just adds more to that illusion that it's sky. And then that eventually blockades you, so you're stuck. I guess we'll just move along through the weirdness. Glowing runes, of course. It's actually just that Norse font that does the fun things and just arranged them in different ways. Later, I think I flipped one inverted or something. I don't know. More of these mushrooms. Mushrooms that are all over Ravenswich and corners and stuff. The ones that have the purple smoke effect. So now you know that they came from the eldritch world, and they're starting to grow in Ravenswich. That's probably a really bad thing. This floating platform and other stuff just down there. You gotta make a U-turn through the spirals. Oh, hey. It's a skeleton hand and one of your guns. Your cool gun models.
Oh, yes.
So that's fun. I'm sure we'll see that guy. Column of smoke thing that just fits in the eldritch world. That you'd have a column, but it's not a physical thing. It's...
There's no explanation.
Exactly. Like, what is this liquid? This is... I pointed this out in Haunted Witch House 2, actually. This is Fozzy's effect, but I just recolored it purple because it's great for liquid that's moving. Yeah, so we're getting through here, and oh dear, there's this guy. Oh, and he's missing an arm. Oh, he's clearly the guy who had the gun back there. Oh, how is he being hanged? How are there floating platforms? What is going on in this world?
No explanation.
Yeah, okay. I always like that. The when near then destroy, but without gravity, so it just adds to the weirdness. You get these things. Note that's made as uncollidable because you don't want things flying around without gravity and then colliding into other things randomly because, ooh, that could be bad for frames. This skeleton's always looking at you. Creepy. Just creepy, you know? The music's back also. There's a kind of like a bell that's just ringing. Weird mushroom things, more weird wind sound effects, floating stuff, more tentacles.
These mushrooms?
Yeah,
Actually,
mushrooms.
I intentionally designed them like the sconces in the museum.
That's right. You can tell because I forgot about that entirely. You get the stem, but you get the lower half, which matches the
Or
stem.
perhaps the sconces are designed like the mushrooms.
Oh, that's probably it, right? Because people who saw the Eldritch World or the insight to it started designing their architecture based on what they saw. Yeah. Super cool, very unworldly. Spikes just meant to be unfriendly, of course. Yeah, just floating platforms everywhere. More stuff. Oh, I forgot about that triggering so fast. I hope that showed up on camera because it's so dark. Anyway, there's a pit here. It's a void, possibly, you know. And you're kind of like, oh, how do I get over there? These two platforms zip up from way down there that you made. And then they just bob. Not that this is a platformer or anything, but... yeah. So we're here. Now we have a cave that's low ceiling with these tendril-y things. I feel really awkward. We've seen that before in Mr. Frivolity's room. Pulsing and... yeah, you actually have to clip your head through these uncollidable vine tendril thingamajigs, so it feels not good. It's ooh. But you get through, and then... oh, I missed the guy. Oh, here he comes. That's the thing that you see after you've been forced to learn magic and he goes through the alley. With the green lantern and everything and just the weird pulsing tentacle weird monster thing. It's supposed to be weird intentionally.
Yeah.
And in the alley when it's really dark and you can't see it that far away, it's supposed to just be like, what the hell was that? And now you see it here and you're like, oh, it's an eldritch monster. Oh, here he comes again. He's on a loop. What are you seeing? Are you seeing a time loop or who knows? So yeah, more unfriendly architecture. I'm just trying to speed through this. No jump scares, just weirdness. Spire. A little balcony. Note, you can't see anything over there. You actually are going to go right over there, but we use the show at to make nothing render, so it adds to some of that non-Euclidean geometry space. And speaking of weirdness, we have your floating furniture effect. Like, what is it doing here? How did it get here? Clearly, somehow, it came from Ravenswich. It's all haunted. Woo. Yeah, so we got that. And I love that you did the holes in the floor.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see the wind.
Did I put a particle effect?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Again, it might not show up too well on camera, but it looks great from here. You see it blowing this way.
Show up on camera.
Does it?
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll find out in post. But yeah, it's cool because you get the floating furniture, but then you also have... Oh, I can see a platform down there. You added some more of that three-dimensionality of it, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we have some super duper weird alien stuff. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe that. It seems to be pulsing with a splurt sound, like a sound, and it's pouring goo out of its orifice and creating a puddle, but the puddle never expands. So, I don't know, non-Euclidean liquid?
Denser.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it just gets denser. That's not how physics works, which is awesome for this place. Alright, so that's just weird and we're going to leave it. We come here and we get the 3 spires, which looks cool, and 2 red doors, as promised. But here's a cool thing about these doors before we open them. They're just doors nowhere. They're just doors in the middle of nowhere. I don't even need the flashlight anymore from this point on. Well, the finale, but... would you like to open door number 1 and just demonstrate?
Yes.
You open a door, and now you can see it's clearly some sort of portal. Don't go there. With particle... I mean, you can, but we'll lose you. Particle effect. And the same thing, though, if I open this door... It looks like the same location! It's not. There are actually 2 endings to Ravenswich. This one's my favorite, and that one's more interesting. I recorded that separately, so we could see that later. We should go through here. And just real quick, as that opens up, you get the particle effect, but the picture is only one way. So I'm going to step through. And I love that sound effect and the flash of lights you made.
Yep, that's Half-Life.
Half-Life
okay. Teleport effect.
It's good because like it feels like you teleported for sure.
Yeah.
No way to get back. You could see this definitely has the magic of the frame, but no way to get back. So yeah. So this is just yeah. There's no going back at all ever from this point on. A little cave, a little that just pops into view intentionally. You come up here, and then there's the eldritch god, we think. As it turns out, it's actually more of a lesser god, or a servant to the god, but you'll see that in the future. We got some guys worshipping, but they're like stone. That matches the stone of this whole place. So we don't know what happened to them, but those used to be townspeople because they have the same robes. I don't want to trigger the effect yet. You can see its hand gripping over the rocks, over the ledge. And more important, well, real quick, this thing I originally made to be maybe like, I don't know, 3 feet by 3 feet, and doing that, I wanted it to pop up a few times in Ravenswich. We were going to do the Haunted Woods Trails 3 thing where you get assigned a number randomly when you spawn, and then like some people would start seeing these things everywhere and other effects, but this place was so big and took so long and took a lot of effort and everything that we cut a lot of extra special effects like that out, which is good because frame rate wise this needed to be playable anyway. So I saved it and then I scaled it way up to make him a giant eldritch god kind of looking thing. So yeah, the last thing to say about this before triggering the effect is that is Aaron Winchesterson. And when you walk up to him, it triggers the timed effect in the finale bit. So I want to have a moment to talk about it, so I'll talk about it now. On his cuffs, on his shirt, he's got AW, and also on his chest pocket, he's got AW inscribed. Oh, I don't think you can see that, though, with the vest. That's him. He didn't make it. You've been following him throughout Ravenswich, and you've been reading his notes, following in his footsteps to figure out what's going on in this town. And he met an ill fate. And notice his blindfold, and those are his eyes. 1, 2, popped out. He's got a dagger in hand, and you'll see now, it's his heart. And the giant hand. Holy crap. And you get smushed by the giant hand. You end up in basically the Delco and Jinx holodeck. That also has a teleport where there are a bunch of spots here, so you hopefully don't land on the same spot as someone else, because oh, I ruined it. I don't know, I guess I triggered it. Anyway, I'll just describe it while we stand here on the ritual circle. Basically, the holodeck, when you look, it's posted. Oh no, we did have it timed in case the looked at trigger never triggered. Yeah, okay. I talk too much. That's my problem. Basically, in the best situation, what you do is you arrive there, you look around and go, whoa, this is weird, this glowing purple grid holodeck looking thing. You look at the observation deck, and that's what triggers. It shows you are there and I'm there looking in the holodeck, and then you say, I think, hello there in your
hello there.
Yeah, your Obi-Wan style hello there. And then I say welcome. And then there's a big red button in front of my avatar, and I bring my hand up and I go like this, and then I like this, and I go straight down on the button, and you teleport here. So it kind of adds that kind of like, whoops, actually you broke the holodeck program, and we needed to reset you.
Yeah.
Again, playing with the psychology of this whole what is real, what isn't real, what is, just all that. So you end up in the ritual circle here in this very dark basement. It's a basement. Guess what?
Yes.
You might have seen this in part 1, because here are the stairs up. Here's the thanks for playing now here, and confetti was just splashing onto me. I open this door. Whoa! Ta-da! We have arrived. Oops. Whoa. That did a weird thing. We have arrived at the tavern, the starting tavern. Ta-da! We showed this off briefly, in the beginning of the part 1, and here's our picture that we like to make a picture of the two of us. That's where the guy was coughing initially, and then you learn magic, and then it's all spooky and whatnot. Yeah, we always like to have everything loop back to where it started, because it's always fun if people just warp in to the world. That if you just finished, you can talk to them. Wow, it was really cool. Today. Oh, you got to do it. You got to go through. It takes a while. Cheers.
Cheers.
Where's that balloon? I want to pop the balloon. Actually, I had to jump to get it.
Nice.
Yeah, so like we explained before, guest book, and you can, leave your comments, etc., etc. Another picture of us. And teleport potions to all of our haunted worlds, including Castle Ravenswich, which follows 50 years after this world as a direct sequel. And it's not here yet because we haven't finished it yet, but the next one after Castle Ravenswich, which finishes the Ravenswich trilogy. Yeah, so I guess, do we have... Let me go to external view. Camera's flying around. We probably left it in the Eldritch world.
Probably.
Here it comes. Ooh, it creates a really nice pan effect, though, when that happens. Zips us in. Yeah, so this was Ravenswich and all of everything about it, I think. Was there anything else we should mention or talk about?
Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a long two-parter.
it is a long two-parter. The first one was 2 hours. I wasn't paying attention clocking this one, but it might be close to that.
We've been in for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see now. Yeah,
It's on the
PSVR. Wow. Cool.
The recording is probably shorter, though.
Yeah, once I clip out the beginning before. Yeah, of course. Trying to think what else to talk about. I'll probably do a short video on how I did the music. Because, again, the music stopped when you hit the holodeck room, and now it's off. The fence, when you come out this alley and you go to past the burning cart, that alley where the guy jumps down as a jump scare, a fence is now there after you complete the world. It's personal. It says, thanks for playing, signed Delco and Jinx. If you want to go through this world again, please leave and come back, because so many of the effects that we do in this are one-offs that don't reset themselves. Almost everything that's a jump scare and some weirdness. We didn't design it at all to be gone through a second time in the same session. It just trying to reset everything and making sure it worked would be a whole another workflow of just insanity. When you could just easily go somewhere else and come right back immediately. So that, like I said, with the music, I was going to say, I want to do just a quick separate video for the music on how I did that with the emitted blocks and then the liquid sub thing killing them before they play and switching to 3 different tracks. I think it was pretty innovative on my part how I got that, because there was no other way I could figure out how to do it anyway. Who knows?
Super cool.
I think it's cool. Trying to think what else. I know in part 1 we mentioned Philip had to expand the thing part size because we were running up against 5,000 unique things in this world. Unique. Not just things total, but unique ones. And then he graciously doubled it for us to 10,000. I think I don't know if I can pull it up real quick, but yeah, I think we came just under 5,000 all said and done.
5,077.
Never mind. You found it. we did go over 5,000. But yeah, this is basically when we've given tours for people, we tell them allocate an hour at least for this place. I think an hour is good if you're just kind of going through it. You're not stopping to read all of Aaron's notes. And, you're not scrutinizing every little thing, looking at every detail, which you're welcome to do, because there are a lot of really cool subtle things that we added for fun. Like the second half, where it's all keep looking up to find monsters and weird things in the dark. Yeah, we've also had plenty of runs where it's like 2 full hours to go through this. If people want to stop and look and, ask us some questions, it's just been fun. So, yeah, I think that covers it, right?
Yeah.
That's huge. The next world, and we'll do a video for whenever anti-gravity. Whenever we feel like it. Castle Ravenswich. We dropped the Haunted Woods Trails label, I guess. It takes place about 50 years from now in an island on Ravenswich, just off of Ravenswich. It's actually visible in the map, which is sitting over there on the bar. but not labeled. And it will be labeled when you see the map there. It's supposed to take place in like the 50s-ish. It continues the story of Ravenswich and, the weirdness of this whole island chain and stuff. It's also more of a Metroidvania because you have keys and you have a couple of different paths you can zigzag through and whatever. So that's just a little tease of the next area. Of course, it's available now. Anyone can go in anytime. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming and playing if you walk through it yourself. And guest book is right here. So if you ever want to leave us some notes about how you liked it or not and whatnot, please do. Also, YouTube, comments at the below. If you have any questions we can answer. Sure. Okay. Other than that, have a good evening.